Hello, my name is Amy and I work at Eugene Public Library. You are watching this video perhaps because you're considering or have checked out our Melissa and Doug tabletop loom, which I have put together right here. And if you are looking at the booklet that comes with the loom, you may have noticed that all the projects inside are for bulky yarn and are projects that might be a little younger. And so I wanted to do a video on how you can set up this loom for projects that are a little more detailed and with smaller yarn. So what I have here is this loom set up with the feet on it. You can also use this loom without the feet on it, like a lap loom. And I'm going to talk about a couple of terms before we get started. So the first is we've got the loom frame here, and we have the warp, which is the thread that is going between the notches. Whatever yarn you're using to go through the warp, that's the weft. The weft gets woven through the warp. And then you'll see not in this kit, but in a lot of looms, they use shed sticks, or they have a shed, and that is a stick, the shed stick, the ones that go through your warp, and then it turns sideways. It looks a lot like a painter's mixing stick, and it gives separation between your warp. And so we don't have that with this kit, and these dowels that we have, when you're looking at the projects in the loom, you'll see that they use the dowels. The way that I'm setting this up, I'm not going to use the dowels in that way, but I can use it to give me a little bit of space, create a small shed in between my warp. So the first thing you want to do to give yourself a setup that's going to give you a more, an older project with smaller yarn is to do a double warp. So rather than just taking your tapestry thread and going one time through, you come back in reverse and make sure that every notch has the thread woven over it. And then I also have some yarn with 3 different rows going from side to side, just doing a basic back and forth weave, and have it tied off, and that's going to help keep the threads separated a little bit and also hold them in place. So that's the basic setup, and now we're going to go ahead and start weaving. Really, if you have a pattern and you are looking at something, this is the setup that you need to do, and you don't really need to watch any further, but I'm going to go ahead and just weave a little bit. I'm going to just use some plain white yarn and some blue yarn for this pattern. So feel free to watch along. This is gonna just go fast and show you the kind of thing that you can make on this loom. So once you are done weaving your design that you want, you can do with it as you want. This one, you can see it gives a pretty tight loom when you do the double warping. And I just used a fork for my comb to push things down. You can use a comb if you have one. A wide tooth comb will work also, or just even using your fingers also works. I am not in any way an expert loomer or weaver, so this for me was actually just a first-time project, and is just meant to give you an idea of what you can do with the Melissa and Doug multi-craft tabletop loom. I hope it was helpful, and have a great day.